We all know that feeling, right? That knot in your stomach, your thoughts are racing. That's stress. But have you ever stopped to think about what's actually going on inside your body when that happens? Turns out it's all powered by a really ancient and incredibly powerful survival system. You know that feeling? You're completely drained, just bone tired, but your mind is still running a million miles an hour and refuses to shut off. You're wired, but you're tired. That's not just some random feeling. It's a classic telltale sign that your body's alarm system is basically stuck in the on position. And here's the really wild part. This whole stress response, it's not a bad thing. It's actually a brilliant survival instinct that was designed to save us from, a saber-toothed tiger. The problem is, our modern world is packed with things that our brain thinks are tigers, and our ancient alarm system just doesn't know the difference. So, to really get what's happening, we need to look at the science behind that alarm. It's called the fight or flight response, and it is the absolute core of how our bodies deal with anything it sees as a threat. Okay, so this whole system is really about one thing and one thing only: staying alive, right now. When our ancestors were faced with a real danger, this system would flood their bodies with everything they needed to either fight for their life or run for the hills. It is an unbelievably fast and powerful piece of our biology. And all of this, it happens in a split second. It kicks off in the amygdala, which is kind of like the brain's smoke detector. It senses danger and sends an emergency signal to the hypothalamus, the body's command center. The command center then smashes the big red button, telling your adrenal glands to pump out a huge surge of hormones, especially adrenaline and cortisol. And boom, your heart's pounding, your breathing gets faster, you are primed and ready for action. It's an incredible chain reaction. But here's the catch. That incredibly powerful response, it was only ever meant to be a short burst. So, in our modern lives, what happens when that alarm bell just never ever stops ringing? Just think about your day. A looming deadline at work, bumper-to-bumper traffic, that stack of bills on the counter. Your body often can't tell the difference between these modern stressors and a genuine life-or-death situation. It reacts in the exact same way, which can leave you feeling like you are constantly under siege. And this is really the key difference we have to understand. There's good stress and bad stress. Acute stress is that short, sharp burst. It helps you, protects you, and then your body chills out. But chronic stress, that's when that fight or flight switch gets jammed in the on position. And that constant, relentless state of high alert, well, it really starts to wear your body down. You see, adrenaline gives you that initial jolt, that kick of energy. But it's this other hormone, cortisol, that keeps that engine revving for the long haul. When you're dealing with chronic stress, your cortisol levels stay way too high for way too long. And that's when the real damage starts to happen. This is the main culprit we need to talk about. So what is that damage exactly? Because this isn't just about feeling stressed out. No, there is a very real, very physical price to pay for living in that constant state of high alert. The symptoms are all over the map, and they touch every single part of our lives. On the physical side, you might get headaches or stomach problems. Psychologically, you could feel anxious, irritable, maybe you can't focus. It even messes with our behavior, leading to things like terrible sleep or reaching for unhealthy food. It really is a full body, full mind problem. Let's start with your heart. Those non-stop surges of stress hormones can literally cause damage to your blood vessels and arteries over time. This jacks up your blood pressure and causes inflammation, which seriously increases your long-term risk for a heart attack or a stroke. And your brain takes a huge hit too. Get this, chronic stress can physically shrink the part of your brain in charge of memory, called the hippocampus. And at the exact same time, it puts your fear center, the amygdala, on overdrive. That's a terrible combo. It makes it harder to remember things while making you feel more anxious and on edge. You have to remember, when your body thinks it's fighting for its life, things like digesting your lunch or fighting off a cold, they become very low priority. So energy gets pulled away from your digestive and immune systems. This can cause everything from heartburn to messing with your gut bacteria, which we now know can affect your mood. And with your immune system constantly dialed down, you're just way more likely to get sick.
Okay, that was a lot of doom and gloom, I know. But here is the most important part of this whole thing. You are not powerless here. You can absolutely fight back. So let's open up the stress management toolkit.
All right, think of it this way. If fight or flight is your body's gas pedal, then stress management is all about learning to hit the brake. And that brake is called your parasympathetic nervous system. Its entire job is to calm everything down, to shift you into a state of rest and digest. The goal is to learn how to activate this system whenever you want. The foundation, the starting point, is always your physical health. Getting regular exercise is huge. It helps burn off all those excess stress hormones. Making sleep a priority, aiming for 7 to 9 hours a night, is absolutely non-negotiable for recovery. And of course, a healthy diet gives your body the good fuel it needs to handle whatever life throws at it. These are the basics for a reason. Next up, we've got tools to calm that racing mind. You know, simple things like deep breathing exercises can hit that brake pedal almost instantly. Carving out time for hobbies you actually love gives your brain a desperately needed break from worrying. And even simple practices like writing down a few things you're grateful for can help shift your entire focus away from threats and towards the good stuff. And finally, please do not underestimate the power of human connection. Strong, healthy relationships are an incredible shield against stress. But you know what's just as important as connecting with others? Protecting yourself. Learning how to set boundaries, how to actually say no, is a crucial skill for stopping overwhelm before it even gets started. So, at the end of the day, the goal here isn't to create some fantasy life with zero stress. I mean, come on, that's impossible. The real goal, the achievable goal, is to build up your resilience so you can handle all of life's challenges without letting them completely hijack your health and your happiness. Look, this is not about changing your entire life overnight. That's not how it works. It's about taking small, consistent steps. So after everything we've just talked about, I'll leave you with this question. What is the one small change, just one thing, that you can do today to start building your resilience and taking back your calm?